Hey, hey, October 28th. October 28th. October 28th. Is it? Let me see if I can find it in the book. October 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. There we go. Yes, October 28th. Here we are doing the daily reflections, a Saturday afternoon, a quiet Saturday afternoon. And the daily reflection starts out with an unbroken tradition is the title. And then the reading is from the 12 and 12. 12 steps in the 12 traditions. I don't know if I've ever shown you one of these before. There's one here. This is the little book that Bill wrote. I'm going to see what the date was in the beginning of the 12 and 12. 12 steps, 12 traditions. First printing April 1953. So about 15 years into after the book Alcoholics Anonymous was published, 1953, and yeah. So this was the kind of a workbook on the steps and traditions that Bill wrote, and the steps in long form. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Maybe I'll read some things from there from time to time on the steps. Each step he has a little bit of a long form on it. So like we're in October, which is the 10th month, so we're focused on step 10 a lot. And step 10 is continue to take personal inventory. When we were wrong, promptly admitted it. And then the little writing he has on that is, can we stay sober and keep emotional balance under all conditions? Self-searching becomes a regular habit. Admit, accept, and patiently correct defects. Right, emotional hangover, when past is, my gosh, is settled with. Okay. Emotional hangover. Okay, it just says emotional hangover. Then it says when past is settled with, present challenges can be met. Varieties of inventory, anger, resentment, jealousy, envy, self-pity, hurt pride, all lead to the drink. And self-reliant first objective. Self-restraint, is the first objective. Insurance against big shotism. Let's look at credits as well as debits. Examination of motives. Boom. So that's the kind of the summary of what's in step 10 and in the writing on step 10 as we get to it. So I just thought I'd read that. But here we are back at an unbroken tradition from the daily reflections. We conceive the survival and spread of Alcoholics Anonymous to be something of a far greater importance than the weight we could collectively throw back of any other cause. We conceive the survival and spread of Alcoholics Anonymous to be something of far greater importance than the weight we could collectively throw back or throw behind of any other cause. That's from the 12 and 12, page 177. And then it goes on to say how much it means to me that an unbroken tradition of more than a half a century, at the time when this was written, it was a half a century, it's now closing in 90 years, more than half a century, is a thread that connects me to Bill and Bob, Bill Wilson, Dr. Bob Smith. How much more grounded I feel to be in a fellowship whose aims are constant and unflagging. I am grateful that the energies of AA have never been scattered. but focused instead on our members and on individual recovery, individual sobriety. My beliefs are what make me human. I am free to hold any opinion, but AA's purpose, so clearly stated some almost 90 years ago, is for me to keep sober. That purpose has promoted round-the-clock meeting schedules and the thousands of intergroup and central offices with their thousands of volunteers, like the sun focused through a magnifying glass. AA's single vision has lit a fire of faith in sobriety in millions of hearts, including mine. Beautiful. The name of the game, carry the message to the alcoholic that still suffers. Everything goes to that. And we've all been deputized to do that. What a great honor that is. Went to a birthday meeting this morning. It was great. There was, 60 or 70 years of sobriety celebrated this morning at the Daily Reflections meeting. But beautiful. Lots of tears. Sad, not sad tears, but glad tears. Lots of fellowship. One of the guys said that he was so grateful to be spared the dying an alcoholic death, which he compared the alcoholic death to being beaten to death by a rabbit. The slow, agonizing death of the alcoholic. It's like being beaten to death by a rabbit. It just, wow, it was quite a description. And he talked about 2 fellowships. The third tradition fellowship was the fellowship of stopping drinking, and then the fellowship of the Spirit. As far as I'm don't actually ever think about not drinking, but I am aware when I'm off the beam in the fellowship of the Spirit, and sometimes aware when I'm on it, but often this living in the moment, in the presence of, or the realization or the relationship with God or higher power, isn't like we stop and say, oh, I'm living God's will. It's just happening. We're doing it. It's beautiful. And so many addicts and alcoholics have this gift and live this gift. It truly is beautiful. So if you're an addict or an alcoholic and want to talk about it, I'm always open to conversation, and can help direct you in the right way if you'd like. Other thing is that I've been doing a lot of work over the last couple of years with men who are dads in recovery, and often it's a mess. There's messes, and talked to a man last night for a while, and it's so easy to hold on to the old story of she won't let me see them, and often there's been a lot of damage done, and we can't see it, but we want to hold a vision, of us being in our kids' lives, period, full stop, and maybe their mom's not well, or maybe she's full of anger. And that can happen. We want to hold a vision of love for her. And out of that vision of love comes amazing stuff. So if you're a dad in recovery and, you're not getting the results that you'd like to get, talk to me. We'll dig into it. And maybe it can shine the light on the pathway to freedom for you and your kids. They need you. It doesn't really matter how old they are. They need you. Okay. Love you. Lots and lots. Cheers.